Yeah, okay, mate. Let's look onto BTC and ETH. There may be some alerts going, hopefully not too many. I was just posting there a little bit above about a potential scalp. See the very small dip here, and it hadn't taken out the highs yet. It was going to come for those highs. There's liquidity above those highs, and that small dip there that I was talking about. You can see it was right. Where's the new day? There's the new day right in there. And there was very, very small, and it actually just ran up in about 2.5%. But now, right now, there is, I would suggest that there is resistance there, but the whole trend itself is still strong. Uh, After a 20 something percent move or whatever it had, it's unlikely to kind of rip to the upside today. Unlikely. So that the safe bet is to say it's going to chop about. Um, no, so yeah, so I missed a bit of it as well. I mean, of course, I'm holding quite a lot, and it's still very nice to see my account get the huge bump up today. But I also didn't buy enough. I didn't feel as well, which is a little bit frustrating because obviously the stock market, interesting rollover here on the stock market. Actually, look at this. That's on a 10-minute time frame. That's a bearish stop hunt right there, and we've rolled right over. So that is something to watch going forward, which is interesting. That's a bearish stop hunt of the highs. It's exactly what you would want to see if if you thought that this wick was going to get filled. Might just share this in the group right now, and then I'll continue with the video. So yeah, I mean that's definitely uh, if we do drop back from this bearish stop hunt right here, people are going to get caught out FOMOing up the top here. I am not FOMOing up the top here. Uh, I did not buy enough, as we were just talking about, because I had expected and hoped that this wick would fill first and crypto would drop and fill those wicks first, and then I was going to load up and load the boat, especially if we got some sort of reversal. And then I was going to, load up. That was the safe trade. That was the safe way to play it. Unfortunately, it just didn't play out that way. This managed to hold strong for too long a period, and then we got the news of the bankers and the regulators allowing crypto to be bought by the banks and held by the banks. So that is huge news. That bounced the market. The thing is, we got that news last week or 2 weeks ago, and it was almost a fake out of the news. And I think what they were doing is they were testing the market and testing the waters. And it was only today that the regulators came out and actually, or sorry, yesterday that the regulators came out and actually said, that the banks are now actually allowed to buy and hold crypto and Bitcoin in America. So it's huge news. It's almost like last week was a fake out run, and then it happened this week, and then it was the real one, real run in institutions. Well, I mean, they they either front run on the banks or they're jumping on just for the trade. It's too early to determine that. But because there's wicks below that may get filled. But there's no question about it here. This is strong. The wick didn't get filled, which is frustrating. I mean, we could look back at, well, it's easy to look back here, the entire charts here, and there has never been a wick that has not filled before, right? We've had a wick there, but it failed up here and came back and filled it down here. Uh, even well, this wick here, maybe you could say, but that is not a red candle. That is, it's a green candle for a start. But the truth is, if you actually look at it, it's filled, right? So we moved up first, then we came back and filled it. See these wicks here? These wicks came back and filled it. There hasn't been a candle in ETH's history that has never got filled. So I'm not sure if I want this to come down here and fill it and then get the real move, or do I want it to just keep mooning? Both situations I am content with. But because this is a large open wick, we have to just be aware. Okay. Now the strength is what I'm trying to get at here is this is now flipped green here and it's had a very nice move up. We have to recognize that strength, that is a very, very interesting and very nice reversal. Um, that it does open the door. Like, I mean, if we open the door, like this is still red. I don't expect too much huge upside. I don't expect this to be flipping green. I expect there's a month and 22 days left. I don't expect this to close past the 50% line here. Like I still expect a red beefy candle here. Uh, I could be wrong, and we could have a candle like this where it comes right up to here. Uh, but that's 2.8. What are we at now? 2.6. So even if we close way up there and had a small body, it's, I'll say only within inverted commas, a $600 bounce. Um, but sorry, I didn't have the wrong tool on there for a second. I mean, the problem is that's still a 30%. So of course that's a huge move. I don't think that we're going to close up there though. I don't know. I just don't, because everything is so bearish on the year, so bearish on the like. Surely this is not. I mean, we've got 7 months left, but I don't think that this is going to close green on Ethereum. I know that we have the banks and the regulators and stuff. The market may prove me wrong, but because this is so deep red and has been so deep red, it's quite natural to get these bounces and all. But normally after you get these bounces and that, it can go into a very, very choppy period. Uh, and then next year, I know I don't like saying next year because it's 7 months away, but next year, what happens then if we get a real move? The market may prove me wrong here, but I'm just saying that the likely outcome, the way that it normally would happen, uh, would be something like that. This was nothing more than a, I don't know if I should say that, but nothing more than a oversold bounce because we were completely beat down there. So uh, I still don't want to be too bullish. And that's why I didn't FOMO at the bottom because everything was obviously deep red. I wanted to see stocks and see what they were doing. What happens now if stocks actually starts to roll over and we do fill the wick? Are we not going to fill the wick in stocks, the monthly wick in stocks? The last time we had a wick like that was 1964, and it took a few years to fill it. But then there was, I don't know how many afterwards, but every one after that has always been filled. So it's a very unusual event if we don't come back down and fill it. And that's frustratingly why no, I own Ethereum. Um, I don't know where I bought it. Probably somewhere down here. I forget now where I bought it. Maybe filling that wick, or I really don't know. I forget. But truth is, I think I may have bought it here. Uh, Maybe. No, I need to double check that. But maybe I bought it there. But because I was down on my Ethereum, whatever, 20%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I could have been. Maybe I bought it there on that stop. Not sure. But because we came down below here, and the truth is, obviously, I should have bought more. I should have been buying down here. But look at the capitulation. I mean, oh my God, I kick myself now thinking about it. And I remember it as well. But everything was so deep red in the year. It's kind of like, well, you kind of playing it safe. And then it stop hunted. It absolutely stop hunted right below then as well. April 7th. That's exactly when I was traveling. That's right. I remember it now. I was traveling to Ireland and around there, and that's exactly what I missed. It was frustrating as hell. I'm here in Ireland for another couple of weeks, and then I go back. I'm here with my parents at the moment, and then I go back in a couple of weeks' time. A few weeks' time, I'm not sure. My wife is coming over to visit for a period, and then yeah, I'll make the way back then afterwards. So yeah, that this is the reason why I still don't really want to FOMO too much, is because of this, is because we're red on the year, and because of the stock market. Definitely not saying that we can't go higher. We definitely could. We definitely we definitely could flip green on a year. It's happened before, and it probably could happen again, but it's just not the easy thing to do. What I have seen before many, many times. I'm going to actually look at it right now in a minute. See this white moving average? That's a major resistance point, right? I'm concerned that that might come back down from there, right? And do that or whatever. Now, I don't know what's my time frame. Yeah, look here. See this drop right here? I know this one rolled over, but see when you drop down and you bounce them back up into the moving averages there, that obviously rolled away. Maybe I'm not sure if that's the exact time frame I'm thinking about. Um, mm, yeah. Like all I'm trying to say here is, uh, this is great. This is nice. This is beautiful. It's very good. Last time we done that here, just say we moved up into these moving averages, but look where it was all year, right? Into the end of the year, right? Here's October. Well, that was the change of the year here. We are now 5 months through, but look at the rest of the year. The rest of the year done absolutely nothing. I mean, it had small choppy moves upside, but the end of the year, we're coming into November, and we were in the exact same spot as we were at the start of the year, right? but that's a full year. That's a full year. We've only got half a year left. So could we do something like this for the next X amount of months until a new year? It's very, very possible. But you can see that there was still upside in the, chopped about. And I only say that's something like that's possible is because of the yearly candle, right? And I don't want to be a party pooper, and I don't want to be, that. But if we fill this wick next year, for example, I don't know where we close. I know it's too long way to be saying that, but if we fill this wick next year, well, that might be the unbelievable buying point, right? We may need a new year, and that's unfortunate to say before we get the real bull market. The it's going to take a pain for the banks and for things to maybe bring liquidity in. Of course, that was a hedge fund institutional run today. I believe it was at least. I mean, that was big news. Everything was oversold. And obviously, there was a lot of coins that did wick fill. I'm still kicking myself about ENA. I'm very frustrated about that coin. That's the only other coin in the market I wanted to buy. I wanted to buy more AV and I wanted to buy more. I wanted to load up on ENA. I don't mean to say it's the only coin I wanted to buy, but it's one of the main ones, especially because it was so oversold. And today it's up 30%. So yeah. Anyway. I just posted in the group there. There's the stop on effect. Yeah, short scalp higher because liquidity hadn't been taken. Came for liquidity. Stop hunt after a huge move, getting the pullback. Yeah, very nice, very normal price action. I mentioned AV as well. But I'm pretty keen on AV. I think I think it's a good possibility and a good coin. It's also red on the year and pretty deep red on the year. Is it going to prove me wrong? I mean, we have 7 months left here. It could prove me wrong. I mean, part of me hopes it proves me wrong. The other part of me hopes it doesn't. Because if we close like this and we fill these wicks for next year and flip green, there, there's there's a chance then we do something like this, right? There's a chance we absolutely moon. So uh, part of me doesn't want this to. I don't really want this to flip green. I want this to consolidate and then in the next year let that crypto stuff in America build and institutions build and watch and understand that the things are building and brewing here. And then next year we have this huge explosive green year in the market. I would prefer that. I'm in no rush. If this moves up from here, okay, good, it's great, it's a sign of strength and we can continue higher. I'm happy with that. I'm delighted with that. But I'm just saying, this is red on the year. Let it prove to me. Let's trade the 6 month candle. This is a red 6 month candle. Um, when I started buying AV down here, AV was right down here at 128 or whatever down on there. And what I was trying to show is, well, this is a 6 month chart here, and if we move up into, because I was trying to catch the lows into the breakout, because of the breakout candle and it dipped right back down. I was trying to catch the lows on it. I don't know how low it went actually. 115. I bought 128. Yeah, I bought down there. So buying down in there. But um, if we can close strong, this second 6 month candle could do this, right? So we have a month and 22 days left. It's not I shouldn't say not, but it's unlikely to flip green this 6 month. We've now created a wick. We've now created a bottom. That is a good probability that we may want to chop about. There may be a bit more upside first, but we could chop about. But it's the next 6 month candle that I'm truly interested in now because of that bottom. Um, can we, if we are going to flip green if we're going to flip green on the year, it's probably going to happen in the second half of next year, in the next 6 month candle. So if we come down on the next 6 month candle, fill this wick, for example, and allow us for another buying opportunity down here somewhere on the lows, and then it pops up and flips green. TradingView's not letting me do it, but anyway, the wick down in there, coming down into that area, uh, that would be absolutely fantastic, right? That would be a great buy point because for me, not only the 6 month chart, but the yearly chart here looks great, and it looks to me like this is possibly getting ready to moon and continue higher. So what I think the market has done, at the moment, at the very least, what I think the market has done, and look at this U-shaped pattern, right? It's fantastic. This thing could bloody rip to the upside if all goes well. Um, like look at volatility expansion, right? Look at all this chop and a volatility expansion. Once volatility expands, there's a possibility it'll continue. When things are in motion, likes to stay in motion. When things are at rest, likes to stay at rest. What I was saying there, yeah, at the very least, what I think the market has done is we've put in a bottom here, right? And if the market is going to continue to move and be extremely bullish, most of that will probably happen in the second 6 months. That's if it is doing that, right? We need to obviously see the stock market. The upside in many of these coins, I don't think are going to flip green on the 6 months. So upside is limited. I'm not saying that there can't be a little bit more upside. There can be. Um, there's another 20% bounce. Is that possible on AV? Yes, for sure. But if these are going to flip green, it's the second half of the year that they'll really need to prove it to us. This first half of the year, we've had the drop. Now we've had the creating the bottom, right? And now we're probably chopping about. And if we're going to make the V-shaped recovery, it's going to be on the new 6 month. But in that time, of course, we've created the bottom. There'll be a lot of these other smaller coins and everything else that will be popping off as these larger coins continue to chop about and create a consolidation range. Bitcoin is a different story. Bitcoin is a different animal. This is pushing up and negating. Not yet, not yet. I mean, we done this before and it rejected. We done the exact same thing almost. Not the exact same thing, I shouldn't say that, but I'm just saying we pushed up into the highs and failed and rolled away into a bear market. This is different, but a very nice bullish stop hunt down on the lows down here. We talked about that in the group that we just formed a bullish quarterly stop hunt. You don't mess with bullish quarterly stop hunts, and away it went. And from there it's very strong. But this is very powerful. When you have a stop hunt here like this, there's a good chance that trend, in a strong trend, might want to continue to the upside. I don't know where it's going to go. Uh, I would love for it to kind of rest and consolidate around here and then give the opportunity to trade the new 3 month for a breakout. That's in the second half of the year. Uh, so we've already created a good candle. We're coming into resistance at double top. The problem is that we've got 50 days left, but Bitcoin has been and is green on all time frames, a lot more powerful than most of the altcoins. At least it's trying to be. Uh, this is still potentially a very very good setup. It's the truth is a tricky setup. Now this definitely could run and just absolutely explode through here with all the bullish pressure and with all the America's not even bought yet and all of the rest. My hope is that it would be a new quarter when all of that kicks off. It's frustrating sometimes when it does bounce like that into the end of a quarter. Um, it's already a beefy quarter. Sometimes you just don't want it to rip higher on this quarter. And like see here, it gives you a nice move up and you get a nice move. You jump on, small dip down, jump on a second quarter, and away you go. And you're in. That's the hope here. That's the hope there that we could hold. And maybe the second half of the year, America starts to buy their Bitcoin. They're supposed to release news on that actually about how they're going to approach buying their potential million Bitcoin. That could be hearsay, but I think they already own a couple of 100,000. But I also just want to note that I posted in the group the other day when the gold ETF was released, gold had 11, I think it was 11 years to the upside. Okay. Gold just continued and continued and continued higher for 11 years straight. 11 green candles. Let's look at it. Here it is here. So in 2004, so it was released right in here, released there, and you can see that was just a bit of a breakup and a slight consolidation. But it's almost like Bitcoin's candle right now. Bitcoin is kind of having a candle exactly like this, right? And was the ETF launched this year? No, it was last year, wasn't it? But anyway, that's when it was launched right here. And then you can see for the many, many years afterwards, 11 years in total, we went higher. Um, so I remembered back then I mean the world was all kind of catching fire on gold. It was a safe haven, blah blah. The gold stocks all went nuts. Well, gold stocks went nuts about 2000. 2000, was it 2005 to 2010 or 11 or whatever it was. But what I'm also saying there is, if if Bitcoin does the same as gold for the top end of the run, all like the gold stocks went absolutely parabolic. And if Bitcoin is going to do the same parabolic move, well, the hope is that altcoins can do something similar and continue to go parabolic. But I'm just pointing out, it's too early in the year though. We're forming a candle like this in Bitcoin, right? So you can see what happened. Very small drop down, took liquidity in this wick very slightly, and absolutely ripped to the upside and away it went. I just want to talk about BTC dominance here. As you can see, the monthly with 22 days left has flipped red. Okay, that's very nice and very good to see. We've seen one here, seen one there. But when they flip red, sometimes they can continue red and continue lower and allow the altcoins a bit of room to breathe to continue higher for the rest of the month. So at this point in time, if this is staying like this and if this continues to drop, the altcoins should continue to be hot for the rest of the month. Uh, Up here, I just want to point out up here that we did form a similar, well, potentially a similar candle up there that was the start of the alt season, okay, but it took quite a few months to form. It took a long time to form actually. This was the real start of alt season here. Now, I just want to elaborate on that a little bit because this is, we've had a lot of red, a lot of green and no red. Uh, we are still strong on the year. This is unlikely to be flipping red, I meant. This 6 month candle is still very strong. All of the old seasons and all of the main moves in the market do not happen in green candles, right? You can get some bounces, of course, like we did today and all the rest, but you can see that when they're moving up, they don't do it. It's the potential the second half of the year when these flip red, right? If this is red here, you can get a bigger move in the altcoins. That is a better potentially risk on environment for the altcoins at the moment. I'm not saying that we can't get some dip here. This is potentially a bearish quarterly stop on. We definitely could get some dip here. I'm not saying we can't, but it's still not the most ideal situations. This is still pretty deep red, or deep green, and a long way to go until it flips red. What I'm saying is it might kind of fit in with my analysis that there may not be not much happening for another. I'm not saying not much. There will be bounces in the market. I don't mean that, but I mean that a lot of the main coins may not be flipping green on the 6 month, and because of that left, and this is still strong also. But this is in the near term exactly what we want to see, and hopefully it continues. We can get some more good action in the altcoin market for the rest of the month. But because of the yearly red candles and stuff, the bounces may be limited and a bit sporadic. As far as ETH goes, we've had a very, very, very nice candle here. We had a very, very nice candle here that got rejected straight away. This was good, right? We have to give that credit. We got one here. The upside was very limited, and then we kind of crashed into a bit of a bear market or whatever. There was a very nice one here, but the upside was limited. I actually got a nice drop for a buy point that gives another nice bounce. But and there's a nice candle in here that the upside was limited and we rolled over again. So I'm just saying that because we're red on the quarter and or sorry, red on the 6 month and red on the year, I'm still a little bit cautious here. I don't really think I should FOMO, uh, but there may be some more upside here. Yeah. Sorry for the long video. 25 minutes. Important time in the market. People need to try and understand. We all need to try and understand if we should FOMO. The conditions are still not perfect. That's the truth. Still deep red on the year for many coins and red on the 6 month. But the new 6 month is a decent point where we could actually see more good gains in the market and maybe even flip green on the year. It's a big ask, but it's always very possible. If it's going to happen, it's probably going to be in the second half of the year.